Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and this is episode 3 of the Holly Press Fibers podcast. Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and this is a knitting channel where I'm going to be talking about all of the things that I'm knitting on, what I would like to be knitting on, and all of the yarny goodness. I am a knitter coming to you from Northwest Montana, and I'm also the yarn dyer behind Holly Press Fibers. I actually just came inside after playing BALL with my dogs. So we were outside and I use a tennis racket to launch this spherical device. So my dog has further to run to get it. So hopefully they're going to nap now and we'll have a little bit of quiet time. So today is a very overcast day. It's one of those days where it's so overcast it's kind of dark, and it's a chilly 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so 10 Celsius, and not bad. It's just that kind of humidity chill. So I've got a sweater on. I am wearing the Flower Bells sweater by her username on Instagram and I think Ravelry as well is Redhead Nata, and she's Natalie V out of British Columbia. This was a test knit I did several years ago, and it's just got this beautiful yoke design, and then yeah, I think you can see it's got little pearl bumps to keep it interesting throughout. She's got a split hem detail on the cuff along with a little bit of color work. It's a very warm top. I enjoy it. I'm pretty sure I made it in worsted weight. I should have looked that up first, but I'm fairly certain it's a worsted weight. But I love it. I would definitely make it again. If I was going to make it again, I might omit the bumps because sometimes I just like to get in the groove of knitting, but it's a great design. And I was actually looking up on Instagram to see what she's been up to, and she's done quite a few other patterns recently, so she's definitely one to check out. And I am actually wearing slippers, so yet again I don't know what my socks are, but last time I told you I was wearing slippers and I didn't know what my socks are. They're like boot slippers. They come halfway up my leg. So I grabbed these out. This is what I was wearing last time. These are my Night Owl fibers, and they are from last year's Advent. So her Advent theme last year was Nutcracker, and I think she did a stellar job, because I look at these as I was knitting them, I'm like, that's like a color for the different characters I see. You know, Godfather Drosselmeyer, Clara, Marie, Fritz, the Mouse King, all of it. I think she did a stellar job. I did a afterthought heel so I could keep the striping sequence going. But yeah, I actually don't usually wear my Christmas socks when it's not Christmas, so part of the reason I couldn't remember, perhaps, although I don't know what I have on my toes today either. So, but I wanted to show you those. I just watched their episode yesterday. They came out with a new one, Night Owl Fibers podcast. It's Rachel, the dyer, and then her mom, Brenda. And they were talking about their Advent. It sounds like she's planning on releasing it at the beginning of June. So you can go get the details by watching their podcast, and you'll be able to hear what her Advent is going to entail this year. So looking forward to that. I'm thinking that I'm gonna wait and get just a straight up Christmas colorway from them this year. She's got one titled Who Spiked the Eggnog, and I really like that colorway, so I'm thinking I might hold out for that. I asked her about it. It sounded like it might be in the shop later this year, so that might be on my list. So let's see what I have been working on. I've got quite a bit I've been working on. I've still got the blanket going, and I'm actually staying up. I felt like 4 squares behind on it, but now I've caught up, so I'm staying on target with that. The other thing that you know I've been working on is my Trelawny top, which is by Narrow Path Designs, or on Etsy she's Narrow Path Knit Designs. So that's Tamy Gore. And as I've mentioned previously, I'm doing a colorway that I can't show yet because it's part of an upcoming club. And so I'm going to turn everything to black and white because I want to show off this leaf pattern. If I can hold all of the skeins. It's been very enjoyable. It's like once I hit that leaf, once you could really see the leaf pattern coming, I didn't want to stop. So this is a top-down yoke, and I'm almost done with all of the color work. And I'm going to make it short sleeve. That's how it's designed. So I'm looking forward to that. It's made good progress. I typically knit 1 to 2 rows on this per day. I'm just enjoying the color work. I'm in no hurry. It's actually still really pretty chilly here in Montana, at least my part of Montana. We've had maybe, if you total it up, a week where we've been up to 60 degrees. That might be pushing it. It's been mostly in the 40s and 50s. The people that are in our neighborhood that I've talked to are kind of blown away. We've only lived here for almost 2 years, but they're all like, this is not typical. It's not usually this cold for this long. Yeah, even one of our gardener friends here who's got all the greenhouses, he hasn't pulled out anything yet, so it's still cold here and overcast and rainy. But I like rain, so it's all good. Okay, so the next thing I've been working on a cowl, and it's something I've just been designing as I go, and I'm going to show it to you backwards because I'm hoping to publish this, and usually when I watch podcasts, designers don't show their stuff off, so I'll go with the status quo and I won't show it off yet. I'm going to call it a bandana style cowl. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what I'm going to call it. I'm showing it to you backwards. At least I think I am. So yeah, it's going to be, there we go. Trying to watch myself to see if I'm doing it right. Yeah. So it's getting there. It's going to join in the back. And this is a new colorway that's coming into my shop. I think I have a name for it. I was still debating it, so I'm thinking it's going to be a Jane Eyre quote because I'm all about Jane Eyre quotes right now. So I can't remember what I was going to name it though. Something fairy. Mademoiselle is a fairy. It's something where Rochester is talking about Jane. I think it was something like that. Anyways, so it's got a cable detail on it, and then it will get a little bit larger before I join it in the back. It'll be a nice little piece. Right now it's just being worked flat, and I'm enjoying the pattern because the cable only happens once every 4 rounds. So it's like you do 1 of cabling and then you get to zip, zip, zip before you do another of cabling, which is awesome. I have started 2 socks since the last time. The first one is, I'm just doing a 3x1 rib. I don't have my sock blockers out this time, but it's just a nice little 3x1 rib that I've got going. This is month 1 of the Emma colorway, or no, month 2. Time flies. Month 2 of Emma, and yeah, I just passed my heel decrease, or my gusset decreases, so hopefully now I'll be able to fly on this one and get it wrapped up. I've got another sock on the needles, and I don't think my daughter is watching, but if you are, you have a quick second to mute this or look away. 2 minutes max, probably more like 30 seconds. So I am making her a pair of socks, and she knows the colorway. We chose it out together when I was down visiting her in Fort Collins. We used to live in Fort Collins, and then my husband and I moved up here, but she's still down there going to college. We went to the Loopy U and got into the Whirled, and the colorway is called Ornamental, Heirloom Ornamental. And so she picked this out. She knows it's coming. I usually try to knit a pair of socks for my kids at the end of every semester. So semester's ended and I'm just starting her socks. And I talked to her about it, and she said she wanted a 3x1 rib sock. She's not getting a 3x1 rib sock because I cast the other one on as a 3x1, and I didn't want two doing the same exact thing. So instead, she's got the upgrade. This is the Morning Coffee Socks by Kay of Crazy Sock Lady. So I've got probably, I'm going to guess 3 more repeats, and then I'll go into the heel flap gusset. I always do the Eye of Partridge. In fact, she requested that when I said, what do you want? Do you want to, tell me what you want your socks to be? She's like, I want a 3x1 rib because I know it will hug my foot, and I want an Eye of Partridge heel. So the girl knows her sock construction. And she's not getting the 3x1, but in my opinion, I think these go faster than a 3x1. And I think she'll really enjoy them because they've still got that nice hug factor. So that'll be good. I don't know if I'll have them done by the end of the next semester because she's taking summer classes. So we shall see. My son, however, knows he's not getting any socks for end of semester. I got him a different gift. He's getting a blanket. That's like 20 pairs of socks. I'm off the hook for a long time. So I think that kind of covers everything that I'm currently working on. Check my notes really fast. Yeah, so then I'm going to call it, I was trying to come up with a name for what I'm going to call this. They are not languishing whips, because they're not. They're planned. They're in a holding pattern. They're waiting for their moment in the spotlight. And since they're waiting for their moment in the spotlight, I figured I'm going to call this the green room knitting, because both of my kids were in theater, and the green room is where you go when it's not your turn on stage and you'd just be in the way if you were in the wings. So you go to the green room and you wait for your chance to be in the spotlight. So you guys have seen these before. This is sock 1 of my Strawberry Dawnwells. It was Emma month 1. But the sock pattern is from DanaRaeMakes, and it is strawberry baskets. And I have not cast on the second one very intentionally. I am planning on casting on the second one later this summer, because if the pattern is strawberry baskets and the yarn is Dawnwell strawberries, shouldn't I be eating strawberries? I think so. So our strawberry patch is well established. I'm guessing by end of July I will have strawberries, depending on how the weather goes, if it starts to warm up. So I am planning on casting that on in time to eat strawberries at the same time. Second one that you guys know about if you've watched my previous episodes is the Wee Fieldmouse sock. And I am waiting to cast on the second one of this because the colorway that is the contrast for the mouse is this. And that is also in my Trelawny top. So I want to finish the Trelawny top before I start the Wee Fieldmouse socks. I know that I think I have enough of this, but I am 99.63% certain I have enough for both projects, because this was a test knit, so I weighed how much was used for the mouse and the bottom of the toadstools. So I know I have enough. I just don't want to be using one ball for two projects at the same time. So when I have the Trelawny color work done, which I have 5 more rounds, then I will look at starting this. So those are 2 that are in the green room. I have 1 more that's in the green room, and this is sock number 2 of Elvish singing, and it's got my little Lorien leaf on it. It is from Steph at AdoreKnits on Etsy. She's got Lord of the Rings themed stitch markers. This will be slow going. I will grab it when I have nothing else and I'm like walking out the door and I need something for car knitting. It's not a rush at all, because I have my daughter's sock that I feel is more like deadline oriented, if you know what I mean. So, oh, another rain alert. It's a podcast thing. Oh, we got this last time too. So, yeah, those are the things that I have that are in the green room. I have one that I've decided is ready to come out of the green room. And this is my idea of a project bag. An old shopping bag. This bag is ancient, it's falling apart. But this is my In Stillness sweater. It's sweater number 2 of In Stillness. I have one that I've already made and I love it. It's a lot like wearing a sweatshirt. It's a top-down construction. There we go. And you start off flat and then join in the round and do your broken rib, and then continue on with the body. And it's kind of all turned up there with a nice little hem on it. And I took this out of being in the green room because I have other plans coming up. But first I'll tell you about this. So top down, then you add on your sleeves and just do standard sleeve decreases. And then you come back when you're all the way done and you pick up your neckline and finish it. And the first time I did that, I was nervous, and I totally didn't need to be. Super simple, and I love the neckline on it, which leads me into a story about this. So this is the second time this yarn has been knit up. I started a Weekender by Andrea Mowry, and I got that's a bottom up sweater. Got the entire body done and joined at the shoulders, tried it on, and thought to myself, I wish this was an In Stillness. So I ripped it out. And if I were going to be like thoughtful about why I wanted it to be an In Stillness, it's because I love this neckline so much, and I didn't care for the open like slit of the Weekender on me. I thought it looked not the way I like my neckline to look. So yeah, my family was a little shocked that I was willing to rip out a whole sweater over a neckline, but there you have it. So I just took this one out of the green room as of yesterday and already did 10 rounds on this sleeve, 1 more sleeve to go, and the neck pickup. I'm going to consider this a happy spot if I get both sleeves done. I will probably say that's far enough along. We're going into summer. I won't need it right away, but I want this done because of my future plans. So I have mentioned previously that Alicia Plummer came out with Getaway Cardi, and that is definitely happening. I want it right away. Again, it's a heavier weight, so I won't need it right away, but I ordered the yarn. So I figured I need to get a sweater done before I start another one. I didn't want to have it be a total of 3 sweaters on the needles if I didn't get this one further along. So her pattern for the Getaway calls for Brooklyn tweed shelter, and I got on Yarn Sub and found a couple options, researched them, and when I get the yarn, I will tell you all about it and how I came up with the decision with the yarn I got. But it has been ordered, it has shipped. I don't know if I'm talking 3 days or 3 weeks, so maybe I'll have it next time that I sit down to podcast. We will see. I hope so, though. I'm definitely looking forward to that project, and also I'm really excited to finish this other sweater now that I have like a goal for getting it all wrapped up so I can start the other one. Plus, I think they both take the same needle size, so it had to happen anyways, right? I don't want to take it off the needles. And that, I think, is it for the green room. So I don't have any finished objects at all. And other than the Getaway Cardi, I still have the Aster Tea on my list. I have not put any effort in. I think what's slowing me up is I want to pick my main color. I can find the minis I want to use. I haven't picked the main color. I know I want it to be dark, but that's about all I know. We shall see. Yeah. So other than that, this is going to be, I guess, a really quick episode, especially since I only had basically socks and a tiny bit of other knitting. I wanted to just show you a couple things that are in the shop. If you're not interested in shop update, you can skip ahead a couple minutes. It's gonna literally be a couple minutes. So last time I talked about my Jane Eyre colorways that were last year's club, but now they're being released, and I had said that there was a mysterious summons. I'm not sure if I showed this. So a mysterious summons, and this mini skein is Antiquity. That's going to be going in the shop this weekend. The other colorway that was part of Jane Eyre was Along the Moor's Edge, and I know I didn't show this one because I didn't have it dyed up yet. So Along the Moor's Edge will also be going in to the shop. The other thing that's in the shop is the pre-order for my Beatrix Potter series. It's going to be one a month coming out, and it's going to be based on the Tale of Squirrel Nutkin. And I just picked out, this is a random picture, I'm not telling you this is what it looks like, but I just picked out some pictures and dyed up some yarn. And there's even a little like teaser photo that I've got on Instagram. Actually, it's not a photo, a reel on Instagram. I had a lot of fun putting that together. So that gives you also an idea of the colors that are going into that colorway. And, oh, that's the other thing that's happening. This weekend I will be doing my Christmas pre-orders. Currently I have 2 that are Christmas in July pre-orders. Those have been up, they're staying up for a little bit longer. I think they're closing here maybe in a week and a half. But my Christmas pre-orders are just my standard colorways. Some people have been asking if they can get their my regular Christmas colors. And I'm going to put up a pre-order so I know how many to be making, get those out to you before Christmas in July knitting starts. I know there's quite a few makers that are doing knit-alongs, and I will have that ready to roll. So that's everything for the shop update, and I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about what's going on here. As you can see, it's a different background. I'm in a different room. I'm trying different lighting, seeing if I can get it so I don't look washed out. But also, we've been renovating the house, and by we, I mean my husband. I'm pretty much pointing saying, I would like that done, and he does it. So that's very sweet of him. This house is over 40 years old, and in Northwest Montana, that means the style of building and the materials are more like 50 years old, because at that time this area was a little bit less populated, so didn't have everything more up to date. So he's been going through doing some of the behind the scenes stuff, you know, making sure electrical is hooked up the way it should be, that type of thing. But a lot of what he's been doing actually has been, he removed the popcorn ceilings and whatever you call that you put on ceilings, and painted them, painted the walls. He's putting in new flooring, new baseboards. Yeah, he's doing it all. So each room that I've actually recorded in, you're seeing the pretty stuff. So last time I had a bookshelf behind me. That was totally a prop. That bookshelf was in front of a closet, and the rest of the room was stacked with the furniture of the entire house. So now I'm in this room, which I think might have a little bit better lighting, but all around me I've got 2 couches sitting on top of each other here, and there's a bed over there and an armoire over there. And someday we'll be back to having our furniture, but yeah, he gets to work on it well, as often as I give him time. He's so good to me. He does a lot of the yarn skeining for me, so his weekend is taken up with being my skein meister, and doing house projects. I think that's really everything that's been happening here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this content, I would really appreciate it if you'd like and or subscribe. I love hearing from you, so if you'd like to leave a comment, I do read all the comments, and I would love to hear from you. And thanks so much for tuning in. I should be back, I'm guessing, again in about 2 weeks. So I will see you then, and happy knitting.